house in Dallas, but it's certainly one of the nicest golf courses in town.
Yeah, it's the most similar to what we see on the PGA Tour. It's fantastic facilities and undulation change. It's a good Fazio design.
Have you played in the club championship here yet?
I have not. No, I'm not allowed to.
So that's one major that you haven't got to add yet?
True, yeah, it's one that I probably will never have.
Getting a chance to sit down with Jordan was doubly special for me. That's Red Bull. Not only is he at the top of the golf world, but I feel like he's grown up right before my eyes. Well, you're already a major champion. Obviously, there's a terrific career ahead of you. I don't remember a season in 40 years of being a professional golfer like this one, where it was so much fun to watch golf.
Now you come out and you play a golf course in the practice round and you get an idea and you think, maybe 13, 14 under will win this week. And all of a sudden it's 22. And it just seems to be like that.
And whistling straights.
Every week. How about that?
Oh, really?
And, major championships, yeah, you're seeing it. And at St. Andrews, you're going to see it if the conditions aren't crazy, which they were for a day and a half there. But it's nuts. It's nuts how low you have to go, and it makes it harder going into that week. It's cool. I mean, it makes you want to work hard, but it is tough. And I think that this next season is going to be a season just like the last, where it's going to be exciting. You're going to see players that will break out. You're going to see a lot of younger guys contending at major championships, and I think that means you're going to see a lot of passion, a lot of aggressive play, and I think that's what people want to see.
What people wanted to see in 2015 was Jordan dominating.
One of the epic performances in the annals of the sport.
Jordan Speith has won the U.S. Open.
And the year of Speith comes to a close. Tour championship winner, FedEx Cup winner.
While 2015 was unquestionably the year of Spieth, to me, it couldn't have happened if it hadn't been for his loss a year earlier at Augusta.
One time in this final round, he had a two-shot lead.
You finished second at the Masters, battling Bubba Watson all day. What did you learn that day? So you were genuinely bummed at not winning that? Even at that age, you really felt like you should have won that?
I did, because I had the lead and I had control. I had Bubba on his heels. I had Bubba talking to Teddy. I had him talking to himself. And I knew I had him. And I was being cool, collected, calm. I knew what was at stake. I knew it was on the board. But I knew that it was us two at that point. Through the first 7 holes, I made an awesome putt on number 7 for birdie to cap off birdie on 6 and 7 after bogeying the 5th. Those are hard holes, 6 and 7. 6 with a back right pin that day on the ledge, and 7 in the bowl. It's just tough to make putts to that pin. And I had him on his heels. And so when I failed to convert based off of really putting, and that was so frustrating because I hit the shots needed. I just couldn't get the ball in the hole. It was kind of the story of 2014 to a large extent. I was doing the right things, and then I'd let one mistake bother me more than it should have because I just wanted it so bad. I didn't let it come to me. I didn't have the patience to say, this round's going to feel like 2 or 3 rounds of golf in one. Just understand that each 6 holes is almost like a round of golf. You got to approach each with the same patience that you would have for an entire round, and understand that this scoreboard is going to change. It changes every round. You play a round out here with Bubba Watson, 18 holes, our scores are going to change significantly throughout the round. Just be the one that's on top and be the one that takes advantage when he's on his heels.
You know what a freak of nature you are? This is like listening to old Tom Morris. You're 22 years old. It's a remarkable maturity that you're showing here, and you remember every single shot that you hit. You remember the clubs that you hit?
Sure.
Do you have a mental picture of it still?
I do, especially tournaments. I remember every shot I've ever hit at Augusta, whether it's a practice round, a round I played in December.
And this is just 2 or 3 years after winning the high school championship?
I don't remember every shot from there.
No?
But I probably will continue to remember major championship shots for a long time.
The 2015 Masters certainly gave him plenty of shots worth remembering.
Maybe
What a shot that is. Fantastic.
There it is. 64. One off the Augusta National course record.
He went to sleep with the lead after each of the first 3 days.
Phenomenal stuff it is from young Jordan Speed.
Backing up 64 on day one with 66 today.
But championships aren't won after 54 holes.
This kid's amazing.
There was still a line to go.
It is not a foregone conclusion with a 4-shot lead. It's still all to be played for tonight.
The pressure that's on any player, never mind a 21-year-old, night after night after night, it's just unimaginable for most people. How did you cope with it?
Just by getting away from it.
You had your whole team with you.
And I had a lot of friends and family, and that could make it worse, and it could make it better. And it made it better that week. We went back to the house. I rented a house. Management team had a house, and we'd go over there. They'd have catered food, and we'd have a pool table and a TV that would play. And it was easy because it'd get my mind off of it. But at the same time, I'm on social media. I shut it off for that week, or at least tried to. And you open your phone, and you're trying to just kind of check in with what's going on around. And I still saw some of the response from it being, don't worry, he'll choke. He did it last year. You still see it. And you can't get away from it until you can get over that ledge. And that's so hard. That was the hardest part for me. It wasn't sleeping on it, but seeing that people saw it as a certainty that I wouldn't pull through, even with a lead.
How much of, hey, screw you, is there in you?
You know, it is what it is. You just have so many people that feel like they need to have a voice on social media. That part kind of stinks. But for every comment there is about that, there's 100 good comments. The problem is you don't focus on those good comments because you're used to hearing that from everyone else around you. You see that one that sticks out, and that's the hardest part. That's why I wanted to get away from social media, because I saw it the year before. It didn't hurt me necessarily there because I was starting tied for the lead with a guy who had already won, so the expectation wasn't there. At the 2015 Masters, from the end of round one, I'm expected to win. I'm playing my best. I've got a huge lead. I double 17 on Saturday to go from a 6-shot lead to a 4-shot lead. All of a sudden, they're in striking distance. And that Saturday night, you're sitting there going, man, if I just had those extra 2 shots.
Tell me about that lead, because people think, oh, he's got 4 shots, you should win from there. That's a really difficult lead to defend because you don't know whether to be aggressive or to sit back and just try and make pars.
I feel like it would almost be easier at a U.S. Open. At the Masters,
everyone can make birdies.
Everyone can make birdies, and I was at 16 under at the time. There's a couple guys at 12 under. It's not like it's playing like the year before, where par is a really good score. Guys are going to shoot under par. You got to count on Phil or Justin Rose to have a 500 or 600 round in them on Sunday at the Masters. That's just what they do.
One loose shot, too. You can not just drop a shot, you can drop 3 or 4.
You could be 20 feet from the hole, and the best you can do is get it in 3.
Yeah.
But the more you back off, the more you have to putt over 2 ridges, and then you just have to keep your game, and you just have to have full and complete trust in every part of your game at that point. And the first hole on Sunday was so big for me because out of the gates, Justin Rose makes birdie on 1, and it's down to 3. It was at 6, 2 holes before that, on 17 of Saturday's round. I made a putt that was just outside right edge after hitting 2 good shots in there from about 10, 12 feet. I recognized how big it was. I was so nervous over that putt. It's the first putt you hit on Sunday in the last group of the Masters. And you want to get it to the hole. You want to be aggressive enough to get it there. I thought that was maybe the key moment of the day.
Coming up, we relive Jordan's amazing season. He'll tell us what it takes to quiet the naysayers.
That one validated that I can make that 20-footer to close.
This is a great story here, Nick. A 16-year-old amateur, Jordan Speith, playing very well.
And you'll see what it was like to be a teenager on tour.
I'm extremely excited to be where I am right now.
All on Faherty.